It's Megan from the Paper Mill. Welcome back to my channel. I've gathered some of my flip-flop journals together just because someone has asked how I make them using envelopes and how I stick the envelopes together, and so I'm going to show you that today. But I grabbed some of these to have a look to see how I do it, because I sort of can never remember how I do it. But what really I do is different every single time. If I'm going to be honest with you, I just sort of make it up as I go along. What I do consistently do is have a smaller envelope for the front, because I really love all the way the paper pokes out at the top. And I also, most of the time, cut the first little envelope, which you could keep it as a pocket, but I tend to just make a signature out of it. I did do this one with that's a little pocket, but that's because I stuck that one on top of a smaller envelope that is a signature. So yeah, there is flip throughs of these journals if you wanted to have a look. They're around somewhere on my page, and they're also, I think most of them, at least that one and this one, are available on my website. But yeah, I'll do a link below to my website. Let me just move them somewhere safe. So those are that. So I've just been playing with some envelopes, figuring out how I did my previous one, which is actually in my house, and there's currently a storm outside and I don't want to go back out there just yet, so I'm going to leave that there. I'll show you how I did it. So this is my guide. So let's put that there. You can use a large envelope for the cover if you want to. If that's how you like it, that's fine. The principle is the same. I like to use little ones. I'm going to use this one for it. And obviously you can leave a pocket there. I'm not going to, because I like having fold outs. This is a great way to use up your second-hand envelopes as well. My family know to keep all their envelopes from birthdays and things, because I will turn them into something. Right, I cut along here. It's probably easier to get a ruler and rip it or something. It doesn't matter too much if it's messy though, because you're going to cover them anyway. And then I always cut these little bits off. So that's going to be my cover. And then I think to save me from having to cut another envelope, I'm going to use this one. So I've cut this one as well, and I'm going to stick this onto there like so. So that's going to open out. I use these flaps as a little lip to close the signature, and then that's going to be a signature too. So let's do that now. Where's my glue? Something obvious that I'm going to say is always take these bits off, just because they might come unraveled after a while, and then it won't be securely stuck down. And go up to the edge, and then you can decide. I like to have it a little bit lower down, and you've got a bit more of a bit to poke out there. So that's, I've done that upside down. This is how I end up doing it differently every time, because it sort of doesn't really matter as long as you've got some signatures. It's quite forgiving really, which is good for me, because I'm a little bit hopeless with remembering what I've done. And then what I'm going to do with this one is another cut envelope, is stick this onto that side like so. And then so what you've got is a signature here, a signature there, or a pocket, or whatever you want that one to be. And then if I can do it, there'll be a signature there and one there as well. Or you could turn that like that, which is what I might do. Turn it in, and then you've got a signature there and a signature there. I'm going to do that. So what I did then, let's unstick that before it actually sticks. So I've turned this, you can turn that inside out and then stick this down. I'm going to take that off. And this is probably completely different to how I've done other ones as well. I don't know how I manage to do them differently every time. But I do. And it's good because I think it makes it more fun to do them different. So we've got the first page, and then there's another page, and then you turn it over, and then you've got a page here and a page here. And then what I like to do is I also, in my journals, I also have another little one at the back. What's happened here? This is stuck. Oh, dearie me. I haven't looked at this one for a while. Let's unstick that. So I've got another little one on the back as well. So I'm going to do that. And I might cut it first. I'm going to try and rip it. Just a little bit neater. I always try and line it up with the front one. This makes it a little bit more tidy, I think. Once it's full of paper, it'll fall on the eye a bit better. Okay. It doesn't have to be exact. Yeah, like so. And then the next job, which is my favourite bit, is covering it all. So you need to cover every single bit of it with whatever papers you have, and then you can start creating the signatures. I've decided, because this lady wanted to know how I did it, I thought it was a great excuse to start a new journal, which is my favourite hobby of all, starting them. I decided I'm going to print off some of my blue papers. And so this is my blue floral kit. And then I got something blue and something blue too, maybe. I'll do a link to my shops below so you can find them all. And I thought I'd do a blue journal. I'm not sure what I want for the cover yet, but I'm going to use some of these to cover it up. What do I want for the cover? I quite like that one, and I quite like this one. Let me move the others out of the way. Quite like that, but it might be too big. I might just take some of this. Yeah, my favourite hobby is starting them. I love it. I really do. I get distracted. If I make another kit and I think, oh, That would make a lovely front cover, that page, and then I have to start a whole new journal because I want to do that, and then I forget about all the other journals that I've started, which is probably what will happen with this one for a while, but you know, I quite like that as and then when you've got all the old paper poking out, that would sort of go nicely. The joy of it is you could just stick that down, and then if you think, don't know if I like that anymore, which I've done plenty of times, you just cover it up and stick something else down. So I'm just going to do the cover today, and then I'm going to dash back into my house. It's so stormy. Right, and stick that down, and I always leave a lip, and then you can stick that down. It just makes the edge, let's do it this way, neater. Like so. And then I'm going to do that here. Let's cut it first. That's my big scissors. I hope that's explained it. But yeah, you just stick envelopes together and see what happens. Cut them up, stick them up. It's all experimenting, isn't it? Play. Right, and then I'm going to stick that edge down. And this is going to get covered anyway, but it just makes it just a little bit tidier. So that would be my front cover. You can ink the edges. And I'll probably add something else to it, like the butterfly one. I've got some old papers and some stamps and things like that, which I'll just, once I find them, I'll probably stick some more bits to it and cover it up. And then you've got, for an example, you can have lots of lovely papers that actually looks quite nicely matched together nicely. Some paper poking out. I quite like that actually. Make that a bit smaller. Yeah. And then what you've just got to do is cover each bit and then gather the signatures together. So I hope that explained it somewhat. Let's go through them again. There. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.